You're tuned in to the It's Real podcast with your hosts, Kayla, Kallander, and Andrew Yaggie. Each week, we'll talk about what happens behind the scenes working full-time in real estate and share with you real-life stories, our successes and failures as we work to help consumers and industry professionals reach their real estate and real-life goals. Here we go.
It's episode 113 of the It's Real podcast. I'm Kayla Kallander.
I'm Andrew Yaggie. Hello, Kayla.
Hey, Andy. What's new with you? What's exciting?
What is exciting? It's exciting that it's a beautiful summer day. Actually, a couple of days of cooler weather.
Yeah.
Summer's been flying by. We've been traveling quite a bit. Real estate isn't gangbusters, but helping quite a number of people reach their goals. So life is pretty good. How about you?
I'd say, I was just talking to someone today and they're like, it's going to be August in like a week and a little over. And this is what happens. We talk about it all the time. We go so hard in the Midwest in the summer that it just flies by no matter what. And I was joking with someone, a friend of mine who lives in Arizona, and I'm like, we live for these moments, but then Canada happens and then it steals our sunshine. So it's been an emotional summer. We just want some sun, but we have been lucky enough to get some really nice weather. And I just pulled up the West Fargo weather and it's 78 today and that feels cool. So
feels nice.
Yeah, I like it though. It's not bad, but it looks like a scorcher this weekend. So got to get to the lake.
Are you going to the lake?
Yes. Yes. I think that's the best place to be. When you're on the water, it doesn't feel like 99, So yeah. What about you guys?
We have to go to a family reunion this weekend on my wife's side of the family. So we're going to be traveling a little bit this upcoming weekend, which, hey, it's always good to see family.
Yeah.
But I do also long for the days when things slow down, kind of the end of the summer where, hey, we're not going somewhere every weekend. We're staying more near, but just don't have activities. Can
I tell you a secret that I was thinking about, but I have never really said out loud?
Yes, say it.
I don't even think I should say this because it goes against all that is Kayla Kallander. I have been looking forward to fall and winter more than ever. And that's like a no for me. I'm a summer girl. But you're right, Andy. Things slow down just a little bit. It takes just a moment of like, gosh, it's just nice to just have a weekend in town, not have to be at anything. And it just kind of calms you, kind of gives you peace of mind. So
Yeah, I would say so. The thing that I do love the most about where we live are the seasons. Like it's really awesome to have 4 seasons and, just to kind of have that change, kind of that shift. I look forward even more, to kids going back to school just for kind of, some of that structure. My wife enjoys it more as she's chasing them around all summer and no doubt driving her nuts. But I don't know.
There's like a piece with it, but like I don't think I've ever felt that way. But I think it's just the busy, the chaos, and there just comes a little bit of a slowdown in the fall. So yeah, I used to hate when people were like, I like seasons. And I'm like, I like seasons. Yeah, I get it. It's nice. It is nice to have.
Right on. Okay, well, I've got a couple of questions for you.
Okay.
So first of all, you were just out to Las Vegas. You went to the Forward event.
I did. Yes.
Some pictures floating around, probably saw a few Snapchats, Insta Reels. It looked like a really great event. Talk about it a little bit.
Yeah. So this is my 3rd time going to the Forward event. A lot of people call it a mortgage conference. It's anything but. Most of the attendees are mortgage and real estate, about 50-50. Neil Dingra puts it on. Neil is from that area. He's a mortgage lender, and he has basically just taken this community and created an amazing attendance. There's 1,000 people that attend. Tickets sell out typically immediately. But what's really cool is you get to see the same people there every year. And about probably 1/3 of people come and go. But what's awesome is that you get to see these people that you only know online, or maybe you've met online, or maybe you've met in person and reconnect with, who have the same kind of values and want to align their business the same. but the speakers are so incredible. And there were some big headliners like Ed Milet, Layla Hermosi, Ryan Leake. But then there were some people that you might not know very well that just crushed it. Every single person had a different message, a different alignment you related to. There wasn't a single person on stage that I like trailed off on. And it was incredible. The messages were awesome. I would say Ed Milet, of course, gave the most intense, impressionable speech where everybody was crying. It didn't help that he showed a clip from Saving Private Ryan, but nonetheless, it was so intense that I couldn't even take notes. And I think we need that every now and then. I think you can invest yourself into, books and podcasts, but what are you doing with it? How are you, applying that to your life? What are you doing? And they give actionable items, and, there's a community afterwards that connects. So overall, a really great experience, and I plan to attend next year. So.
No, that's really awesome. I should really put it on my radar as well. It does look like a great event. And Neil, when he was just at the Hatch Summit in Fargo, it was really awesome seeing him.
Yeah.
A lot of really good takeaways.
Yeah, and Eric Hatch was there, and Nick Duraney from they were at the summit too. That obviously it's the Hatch Summit, but it's really great to see some locals there too. So maybe you need to buy a ticket, Andy.
Maybe I think we talked about this last year, and I think that you were supposed to remind me about it this year. And
I'm sorry, I probably didn't.
You reminded me about it, but maybe next year. It'd be kind of fun.
I will send you an email after this with the dates. It's in June next year. It's in Vegas. It's at Resorts World. It's, I think, the last weekend in June. So put it on your calendar now. I'll follow up. And then when tickets go on sale, I'll let you know.
Right on.
Speaking of, though, we were in Vegas at the same time, and I didn't know until I saw your Facebook.
Right.
What the heck? I told Taryn, I'm like, Andy, Yaggie's in Vegas. Well, I was so mad. I'm like, I didn't see anything. Like, I don't even think you posted on your Snapchat, Andy. I didn't see anything.
I barely use Snapchat, and I'm kind of a social media hermit. I need to be better about it. But yeah, so we snuck away to Vegas, just another couple that we're friends with, and we went and hung out and saw the sights. Yeah, just to kind of get away. Part because I just turned 40, which we've talked about. And it was a nice time. Had some really good meals, had some really nice time by the pool, saw some good live music. One of the downfalls of going to Las Vegas earlier in the week is, a lot of shows are off for at least a day, or, some of the better ones sometimes are not going. So we didn't actually go to any shows, which was fine, but hit up a spa in the area and just really had some nice relaxing time. So it was good to go. Good to get away. Always nice to go home too. But yeah, I wish that I would have known that you were sticking around past the conference and Taryn was there. We could have gotten together and.
I know. And we almost stayed at Fontainebleau. I'm like, what if it was the Wynn or Fontainebleau? I was at Fontainebleau last October, and it was beautiful. But I'm like, okay, I've never been at the Wynn, so it was good. But I would say Fontainebleau wins. It's just more modern,
And I've never been to the Wynn. I know some people that they like to go there religiously, and
yes,
but the Fontainebleau is definitely, it's nice. A little bit further away from everything, but it's not bad.
It's nice though. But I will tell you though, it's so great to go to those things and attend and be. But I will tell you, 5 nights in Vegas was a lot for me. Too long away from my dogs, and I spent from 10 a.m. till 3 a.m. in airports and on planes because I had to take 3 flights back to Fargo. So I don't want to travel for a while, Andy.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yep, I'm hearing you.
Until next time.
What talk about real estate a little bit, Kayla.
Yeah.
Anything fun, interesting, any stories, any horror stories or anything?
We haven't talked at all before this podcast. So a couple weeks ago, I've got something doesn't happen that often. I had an individual that I fired as a client. I told him no. That doesn't happen a lot in this industry. I think when people come to you for a service, they're coming to you for help. And my team and I were so proactive, probably to a fault. If we miss something up front or don't share something, it's rare. I think when, I do a discovery call, then we get them pre-qualified. Then we have a meeting, usually on Zoom. There's so many moving parts. And this individual he was being combative in the pre-qual process. Like, we needed something, we needed to document something. And he's like, you don't need that. And I'm like, actually, that's not a requirement by us. That's a requirement by the GSEs, by FHA. And was so combative that I just said, I think that it's best if you go with a different lender that better aligns with what you want. And knowing that he's going to run into the same issues. And I just say, Andy, when someone is that combative, when, we have a lot of clients that want to work with us, that get to work with us. And we have to remember that we're really good at what we do. But if it's that difficult at the front, what's it going to be like when underwriting gets it? What's it going to be like when the appraisal's short or the home inspection comes in with some repairs? And so for me to fire a client, that's very rare, but a client was fired. So, and truthfully, there's a zero tolerance policy too. If someone says something we didn't, and we know we did, if you're going to be rude to my team, that's it. There's no excuses. So that was something that was interesting that happened a couple of weeks ago. So not ideal, but it happens. And I know there's a lot of lenders out there that would, just want every deal. It's not worth the mental suck and the tax that it takes on you and your team. So
it makes me think of this. Cue the music. Can you hear it?
I can kind of hear it. What is it? Oh.
Bad Boys.
Yeah, he was a bad boy. I'm like, dude, don't be so mean. So,
yeah.
what we're gonna do is we're gonna fire you. So, and the sad part is they're gonna experience the same thing, and that other lender might not give all the details, but once they get in the contract, you're going to get all these requirements that we already talked about. So unfortunate, but it happens.
But that's a great talking point as far as really, taking the time to get to know your client or potential clients, and vice versa, the potential client getting to know the agent, the lender in advance. Are we compatible? Is this something that isn't going to work for either one of us? And Kayla, I reflect on it, and I really harp, I've got a younger team. There are 6 of us as agents here, and we talk about it all the time where, hey, you don't need to work with everybody. In fact, you don't need to, and you're not going to work with most people, but make sure you're aligned. And we've really been working hard, Kayla, at, making sure that we have the right tools in place. And I'm glad you brought this up, because we actually just redesigned our website, and we're still working on it, but like, this is our buy page, where it talks about finding your home, your perfect home, where you can go and search for properties, talking about the fact that we're your advocate from the beginning, kind of laying out a concise piece of the process here, some of our featured properties, and then our buyer questionnaire. I am amazed, Kayla, since we put our new website into play, the number of people that have come and started electively completing our questionnaire. I just got one. I just at a kind of a developer event within the city here, and I got one when I was gone. Someone just randomly came and filled out our form. They want to work with us. They want to buy, or at least they filled it out. We'll see if they want to work with us or not. If they're willing to have the conversation, and if we're aligned, and if we're not, that's fine too. Go find your people. There are plenty of tour guides out there that will take you and open doors for you and leave you totally frustrated. And there are plenty of lenders that are hungry for business, that hell or high water, they'll take the abuse. They need the deal.
Yeah. And I think too, when you're aligned with, the realtor on this deal that I had, she was like, hey, client, like, Kayla and her team do a great job. Like, this isn't her role. So like, even having like that support of the next person. And she said, we're not going to write an offer until we know they're going to get you this. So it's like, that's a big deal too. Cause if they're writing an offer, then now we're like scrambling. And so I think you're spot on, Andy. And by the way, I love that addition on your website, because people like kind of like DIY. They like to kind of put their stuff in, see what happens. But I think a lot of people are kind of getting away from the phone. So they can do as much as they can in a consult. We have a questionnaire we send too. And you'd be shocked at how many people I'm like, hey, Andy, can you hop on a 15-minute call? Or do you want to fill out this form? A lot of people are leaning towards a form. So way of the world.
Still important to have it, though. I had someone the other day tell me, hey, I would like to work with you, but I'll let you know when I'm ready to go start touring houses, and I'll send you houses I like, and I'm working. And it's like, well, I can appreciate that, but that's actually not how it works. At least not if you're going to work with us. And I guess if that doesn't jive with you, then that's fine. There are a lot of tour guides out there.
Do you have people that so new client comes to you, hey, Andy, I got your info from my friend who bought with you or sold with you years ago. What is your first step? Is it a phone call? Is it a meeting? Tell me how you guys are running your process now.
Mm-hmm. So I guess it depends. We have some people that wander into our office. We have some people that will call. The majority of people, I would say, come from an online means. And again, I think that's where people are. They're liking that we have online forums. Even Kayla, like for all of my agents within the office, like when you go onto our page and you go and let's say, hey, you want to go and you want to learn about Logan here. I've got an individual page for everybody. Kind of learn about them, can watch kind of a video on them that we basically produce, and we talk about them. So again, someone can kind of interview you from a distance, and then we even have a direct contact form that goes direct to that agent. I have a lot of people, Kayla, coming and just using that form and reaching out.
Nice.
So I guess the long and the short of it is once somebody reaches out, once we connect, ideally telling them about our process, the fact that, hey, we're going to ask you to complete this form. We want to set up an in-person meeting ideally. If not, hey, let's do Google Meet. We can do over the phone if we have to, kind of talk about our process and the fact that we're going to help you reach your goals super quick. I like to either in person in our office or electronically start looking at homes, not the physical house, but pull them up on the computer so we can make sure we're aligned and make sure that I know what we're looking for. At which point we go look and we find a home for people, and oftentimes in 5 or fewer showings.
Nice. Would you ever show someone a house that you've never met, or talked to, or had a consult with? Would you ever show a home at this point? If they were pre-approved, would you still show them a home if you've never met them?
I would want to have some type of communication with them first, just so we're on the same page and I know a little bit more about what they're looking for. Again, I'm not a tour guide. I'm not an order taker, which actually brings up another interesting story. I had someone reach out who, hey, they've got land for sale. They found me highly reviewed. They really would like to work with me. Here's the address, the property ID numbers. Here's my name, address. Here's my phone number. When does it work to talk? Would like to get it on the market. So I reached out and said, hey, I'd really love to have a conversation. Because they wanted a market analysis, I said, let's have a conversation about the land. Well, I'm hard of hearing, and it's hard for me to comprehend everything. So if you could just send it via email, which is like, okay, that's kind of a red flag. I'm kind of looking up their number, can't find a record in one of the tools we use. I see it's a voice over IP number, which is another red flag, because most people have cell phone numbers. And I'm 95% certain that this is a fraudulent individual. And there's a lot of fraud going out there too. So that's the other piece. I have some clients we're going to list something for. I said, hey, I know you are who you say you are because I can search in some of the tools I use. I can verify that. But if you're not coming here in person, I have to have your photo ID.
Yeah. Yep. Amen. And I think there's just so much riffraff that you have to be protective of that. But the reason I asked too is so many people will want to get pre-approved, never talk to us. And that letter that, you always hear the horror stories of pre-qual or went online and just spit it out. Well, I mean, there's a difference between that. Even we could pre-qualify someone, but I just talked to a client today. We had 3 different programs that they were thinking about. That is really hard to put on a piece of paper until you talk through it and really just curate these options for people based on their goals. So yeah, it's important.
I like it. I like that we're aligned, and that's probably why we get along so well and work together as well with some mutual clients, just because it's like, hey, we've got standards. I'm never going to come and pressure you to give me a letter for someone that, you haven't vetted. And so that's good. Go find your partners, the people that you're aligned with, and go find the clients that really value your process as well. Yeah. Sometimes it might feel a little bit inconvenient or drag out what I want. Just show me the house, but let's be fair with the process.
Yep. Amen. And I'm excited to work with you, Andy, because you and I have worked on a couple deals and it's gone smoothly, and we got one coming up here. So thanks for trusting my team.
Hey, I've got a question at your Forward event. So obviously,
Yeah.
I saw there were some good things that were up on the screen. Talking
Mhm.
about within 25 feet of a poor performer decreases performance, among other things. What were some of your biggest takeaways?
One of the things that I would say was one of my biggest takeaways, well, I would say two things that just stick out. I have a whole list I could go on. I always bring, for anyone listening, maybe we put this in like the show notes, but I bring my plot everywhere. This records and then transcribes. This is super helpful so that I don't have to sit and take notes. Although my good friend Andy Yaggie talked me into buying a Remarkable, which I also use all the time, but I share that with you.
You
Oh,
need,
yes.
you need to get the clip on.
I know. I need to improve. My buddy there had G2 glasses, and it
Ooh,
has. Have you heard of those?
I have.
Yeah, I was shocked. You put them on, and it like the speaker it like fact checks them. It's crazy. But I would say I got a lot out of Vanessa Van Edwards. What she spoke about was asking questions and the psychology of like people liking you, and questions trigger dopamine. And I think that there's a lot of people that go through this world never asking someone deeper questions. It's always, how are you? But what about like, what are you working on? Tell me something exciting that you're passionate about that's happened recently. And I think that that was a big takeaway. I'm speaking on something similar next month, and it gave me kind of like validation of like, wow, this is an important topic. So she gave a beautiful speech. That was a big takeaway. And then I would say Ed Milet, you think about these conferences and you go to these events and you think it's going to be just about like sales and building your business. But Ed really talked about when you get to heaven, there's going to be a line of people waiting to thank you for the impact you made on their lives. How many people are going to be in line? And that just rattled me a bit. Like, and now I think about that all the time. I think about, okay, like who can I help today? And he talked about like everybody kind of written across their forehead is like, I want to be seen. And everybody wants to be seen and heard. And sometimes there's people in this world that are not seen. And he talked about a janitor at the airport and, talked about what she's going through. And I think it just makes me just stop. And we're always so worried about ourselves, what we're wearing, what people think. Did I say the wrong thing? Nobody cares. Like, stop caring about just you and start caring more about other people and your purpose and your impact. So those were kind of my biggest takeaways, and it just kind of, I don't know, softened my heart a bit. So yeah.
Sounds like a really good, really impactful event, and obviously some great A speakers. I think it looked like some people that you probably see on a regular basis at this event that come year after year. And
Yeah. I mean, there's some really great people I only see once a year, and it's like we're friends, we catch up. But what's amazing is just the conversations that happen outside of it. And then the follow up. So, like this week, I'm following up with one of the AI girls, and she's helping me with some things in my business. And it's all about community. But again, you can go to any conference and read any book, but at the end of the day, what are you doing with it? So, and I'll be honest, I'm that person that'll be like, I did all these things, I bought all these things, I'm investing in this coaching group, and then it's easy to not do anything with it. So, yeah.
You piqued my interest when you said AI. What are you doing? What AI takeaways did you have, and what are you working on?
So it's a little difficult with where I work because of certain AI you can't have on, like it can't integrate into the bank, obviously. But there are a couple takeaways that I have with AI in just about like analyzing your email, analyzing your tone, in creating in Claude, you can create agents. And I know you do this, Andy, because you've said you do this, right? You create like AI agents. I've never done that, but I've also never been curious enough to do it. And so the individual that spoke about it was like, listen, you don't have to be good at this, but you have to be curious, like keep digging. So I connected with a girl this week that we're going to work with Claude and Chat and a couple different add-ons and work with my VA and be like, what are some things we can do to make, content creation easier or workflows or sequences easier or a website. So there's just all these different things that I think we all should be doing that literally is a task. Like Andy, I was going to actually talk to you about this. I'll talk to you about it right now. We have our podcast. I literally forgot to talk to you about this. So great. The whole world can hear. But like we should just create something for one of our VAs, just go, and maybe one of your VAs does this, but go and create and post to, LinkedIn. And obviously a lot of this is automated, but it's like having an SOP. So like I right now go and put this on Spotify and Apple, and I haven't done it in 12 episodes. I'm sorry, but I'm like, I should be showing her how to do this, and I can easily do an SOP in Claude. Why am I not? No idea. So anyway, feedback, Andy?
I like it. I like that you're growing with AI. And, I attended a Tony Robbins like AI event October and November last year. And a big part was, how do we go and get back 15 to 20 hours of our, how do we do that?
Mm-hmm.
And so I really that really resonated with me. And, in some ways it just, as I've kind of gone down the AI rabbit hole, and I've been doing a lot of development and design, building websites, building apps, building solutions, building agents. In some ways I've, created a lot of other jobs, a lot of other noise, but it is just out of this world what you can do with AI. And just quickly, responding to things. If you have an agent trained in your voice, being able to help you quickly and thoughtfully respond to emails, or even analyze deals, especially more complex ones. Kayla, yesterday I had someone come to me, and they're pondering what to do with some family farmland that's been in the family a long time. They're meeting with their financial advisor. They've already had an appraisal. They were highly recommended to me by an attorney and some other individuals. So I was able to go and put together like an 8-page comprehensive report, aided by AI. I feed it all of the data, all of the comps. It's trained in my voice. I give it context with some of the sales that I've done with my knowledge of the egg market and farming, and put it together. It would take an inordinate amount of time, and it blew them away, Kayla. They were very, very impressed with it. And it wasn't a bunch of AI slop. I think a lot of people think negative of AI because they think, AI is taking jobs. It's bad for the environment, or I see all the junk or garbage or, candy cane Christmas pictures people are making of themselves. And I mean, that's what people think AI is. But realistically, it's so much more than that. When you put together a professional document branded with your brand standards, your guidelines, with actual actual market data, it just saves a tremendous amount of time. So I think it's really incredible. And then, Kayla, today, I went to look at a home. Some individuals that they're helping their sister kind of clean out and sell a home. It's in kind of tough shape. But the one brother kind of said to me, he said, well, hey, we kind of research your sister kind of knows who you are, and we research you. In fact, my wife was asking AI, and AI said that you were actually one of the good ones in the area that would be good to reach out. So
nice. It has your back too,
It's good to know that AI has your back.
But I think too, like you said the word slop. That's what we heard a lot at this conference was AI slop. And even Andy, you see some people that use AI to create an image of themselves, and it's not them. And you lose like credibility. I mean, at least get it a little closer. There's a couple people in our industry that I'm like, that's not even you. Like that doesn't even look like you. Some of them look better, but it's the slop that you're worried about. And I'll tell you what, like, I'm giving a little presentation tomorrow. You've probably been on some of my emails where I'm going to break down this event. And so remember this Claude, I plugged in all my transcripts into Claude to Claude. And I said, break down the highlights of each speaker. In addition, I took my remarkable notes about my highlights. And now I have like a slide deck that I can easily show on my Zoom tomorrow. And now it's not, some random person's thoughts, and it's not, it's not just a random Google thing. It's my thoughts. It's the speaker. This would have taken me hours to do, and I never would have done it. And now I've got something that just speeds up the process and takes like the grunt, the hard work, the grind out of it. So
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes it's overwhelming. Like I've got things going in ChatGPT. I've got things going in Claude. I'm working in Manus. So it's like, okay, what was I doing where? And,
I know.
It has their purpose. And, it's like having a big tool chest and having just a lot of different options. It's kind of fun.
Yeah. And it's fun to see what each one does. I'll ask one thing or run a scenario by it. And, it's not just, a random person speaking. It's taking your thoughts and your your ideas and just polishing them or making them flow or making your life freaking easier. So more power to you.
Love it. Great discussion, Kayla. What else? So I was going to ask, so you talked about an event.
Yeah.
And so I was curious, how does a mortgage lender get invited to speak at an HR event?
Cheers, Andy.
I mean, I'm curious.
So DisruptHR is across the nation. This is in Fargo, August 13th. I've heard of it, Andy. I've heard of it. I've never attended myself, but I've always heard that this is like the place to be. So there's a Fargo event, and it's run by Heather Ostrowski, and she basically and a team and her husband Jeremy run this event every year. And what it is, there's a handful of speakers. Each one has 5 minutes. 5 minutes. And you speak on a topic that you're passionate about. And there are slides that switch every so few seconds, that they switch for you. So in your 20 slides, in 5 minutes, it keeps going. So if you don't go fast enough, or you slow down, or whatever it is, you go too fast, you can get a little mixed up. So it's timed 5 minutes. You speak. I was asked if I would be interested in applying, and I applied. And next thing I know, I'm a speaker, and I'm like, oh boy.
What are you talking about?
My title is Prescription Without Diagnosis Is Malpractice.
I've never heard of that before.
You're probably so sick of me saying it. But I see it every day in my business, but I also see it personally too. And I see it, happen where, you think about your conversations with people, and are you being curious enough? I just talked about Vanessa Van Edwards and how, asking more questions can lead to you really understanding people more. And so I'm talking about why you should ask more questions, what that does for you psychologically, how that improves your employee morale, how that improves you as a business owner, and just talking about stop assuming that you know what it's like, Andy, when you text someone and you don't hear back and you're like, they hate me. What did I do? I pissed them off. And it's like, no, just stop, ask a question. We assume way too much. And so that's what I'm speaking about.
I like it. I think that'll be good. And that's August what? August 13th?
August 13th. Yeah, in Fargo at the lights. Actually, yes. Is it? And I second guess. It's in Fargo.
In Fargo.
So, it's in the evening. So, do you think you'd come?
I don't know. I've got trying to balance kids and life and what time does it start?
4:30 to 9:30. So I think we go on 6 or something. I think there's a little happy hour before, but yeah. So
Maybe. We'll see.
Come support me. We can do a podcast.
Sounds great. Well, Kayla, I think that puts a wrap on our episode for today. So always great connecting.
Always a pleasure.
I hope you have a great rest of the week.
I will if you will.
See ya.
Bye.